Motel here from the Toy Talk Guys podcast. Thank you for joining me. So, I had recently placed a winning bid on an auction site for a whole bunch of Power Rangers VHS tapes. And I thought to myself, you know what would be a good idea? Open this in front of a camera and let whoever wanted to watch, so people can have a better understanding of how I choose to spend my time and what I choose to spend my disposable income on.
Oh, baby.
So without further ado, let's cut this open and see what I won. Alright, well, you might have guessed it, but this VHS lot is very Tommy heavy. Check it out. Green with Evil, Green Ranger miniseries Part 5. This installment wraps up one of the most popular Power Ranger stories of all time, and oh, check it out. This boy's yielding 90s paperwork. All the details you needed on becoming an official fan club member. For those that don't know, I think the most interesting clause to point out here is where it says to send in the proof of purchase from each of your 5 Green Ranger miniseries videos. A cutesy option for acquiring a membership, but if you're a Power Rangers VHS completionist now, this is definitely something to keep in mind. I've had several of these VHSs in my collection, and I've seen several with this inside upper tab ripped out. Not something a sane or rational person would pay any mind to, but I'm far and well out of that category. We also have Part 3, and it's in pretty good shape. Not my favorite part of the series, but cool to note that this was Scorpina's debut episode. Part 2 was included as well. Again, not my favorite part, but I'm a sucker for the Goldar and Jason moments in the Dark Dimension. I'll put it out there that while I have a love for the series now, I wasn't a huge fan when I was a kid. I thought the Green Ranger stuff was overhyped. The biggest offender for me was the aesthetics of these tapes. It's just Tommy on every single one of them. These came out right after the original 5 VHSs were released, and the cover art on those were absolutely epic and now iconic. Pictures of Tommy by himself, doing whatever, didn't really impress me, especially 5 times over. Look at this. Didn't even have to rip off the tabs on my Green Ranger videos. A tape not sold in stores and was exclusively distributed to fan club members. The official fan club video. Featured 35 minutes of cast interviews and answering fan questions, and also a whole bunch of behind the scenes production material. Also, the Rangers stay in character pretty much the whole time too. As corny as this tape is, it's a really nice time capsule of that era. Very pleasant attempt at blending the lines between the audience and the cast. Next up is the complete White Ranger series collection. Pretty unimpressive collection, all things considered. They're not really White Ranger focused episodes, and more so about the new Red, Black, and Yellow Rangers on the team. Which, I always liked Rocky, Adam, and Aisha, so I wasn't mad at these. The collection just shouldn't have the White Ranger series moniker. Pales in comparison to the Green with Evil series. Speaking of, the next pull happens to be part 1 from the re-released Green with Evil series. They made some nice improvements with these. Better cover art and some exclusive bonus interviews with the cast. I personally needed this one, so it will be entering my collection. Also have part 4 here, my favorite part of the series. Love the cover on this one. Humorous bit here to note, I compared this copy with the copy I already have in my collection to see if I should upgrade. Turns out, I had an ex-Blockbuster copy, and those sneaky butt sniffs swapped the re-release tape for the original Part 4 tape. You can clearly tell since the re-releases were upgraded with titles. I've been living a lie for years. What an embarrassment. Here's the lighthearted Christmas special, I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger. This one's hard to get through. There's some very minor exclusive footage on here, not shown on TV, but nothing crazy. In a rare instance, the Rangers do not morph throughout the whole episode, and I'll just leave it at that. Tough watch. We got the entire 3-tape run of the Morphin series. I didn't have any of these tapes, so they're headed for the collection. I just go back to the cover art on these. Never liked them for that reason. Looks like fruit stripe gum. R.I.P. The 3 episodes featured are all fine, but there's nothing special about these releases. Lord Zed waves? I know he's kinda waving. Wasn't the absolute main reason I picked this lot up, but it was one of them. Lord Zed's Monster Heads was, in my opinion, one of the best covers out of all the MMPR VHS releases. It was also an exclusive direct-to-video. That's where my praise stops on this one though. It's a complete clip show through and through, and I'm not sure there's even one piece of original content shot for this. Zed and the Palace Monsters all comment on past monster fights, remembering all their favorite or most powerful monsters. Snore. Purposeless storytelling, but what a sick-looking tape. Here's some tapes from the all-time favorites collection. These were pretty much the last of the MMPR VHS tapes released early in 1996 before Zeo aired later that year. Ninja Quest was an important miniseries, not only introducing us to both characters Rito Revolto and Ninjor, but this documented the transition of the Rangers' new powers and Zords. The Thunder Zords are also destroyed. A lot happens, and I think they made a good choice releasing this series on home video. White Light is also here. Already went over the official White Ranger collection earlier, but this tape should have been the true White Ranger collection, as it marks Tommy's transition from Green Ranger to White. When it comes to North American MMPR VHS releases, this one's typically more sought after than others. Boo, hiss, boo, yikes. Alpha's Magical Christmas has got to be the roughest watch in the entire catalog. For those that are not aware, this was a direct-to-video release centered around Alpha and Zordon preparing for Christmas. They bring kids into the command center for reasons I've forgotten and sing Christmas carols. That is it. Some of the Rangers do show up at the end with about 3 minutes left, basically to say Merry Christmas. Just imagine some clueless MMPR fan renting this tape for the weekend, expecting an exclusive Power Rangers Christmas-themed episode, and they instead get a sing-along. It's crazy this exists. If you can believe it, I actually don't have this in the collection, so I'll be keeping it for reasons I can't explain. I'm just sick. Here it is. Pulled this out last on purpose as it was the main reason I bid on this lot. Power Rangers, the World Tour, live on stage VHS. If there's any new fans out there who didn't know, there was actually a Power Rangers stage show that toured the US back in the mid-90s. If you weren't lucky enough to attend, they released this recorded version you could watch at home. It's super cheesy, but it's really an awesome watch. Lots of effort put into what I can at least assume felt like an immersive experience for attendees. They used suit actors for these live performances and only had the original cast pre-record their dialogue to play over the choreography. Extremely similar to how the actual show was made. Copies of this tape in fair condition usually command a higher value than most MMPR tapes. There's also usually a lot fewer of them up for sale as well. I've been on the lookout for a copy, and the bid I won this entire lot for would have been a fair price for just this tape alone. Definitely a piece that's worth tracking down.
If you stayed for the whole video, I truly appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments, was there a particular VHS tape that I pulled that you have a lot of personal memories tied to, or maybe you need some of these for your collection, or in your opinion, was my opinion completely wrong on any of these? Let me know down in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.